What did I miss? Brian here, and it's a really nice day outside. Today we got a maintenance procedure as well as a repair for the 4Runner, as you could tell by the title and the thumbnail. Today we are going to be changing out the oil pan gasket. So my 4Runner is leaking a little bit of oil, literally where the oil pan meets the block. And it's not too much, but it's enough to where I need to do something about it, and I should not ignore it for too long. As far as I know, there is no service interval to change out the oil pan gasket. It's one of those things where if it goes bad, then you got to do something about it. And on top of that, I'm currently due for an oil change, so now is a really good time to take care of it. Well, look at that. It's leaking oil towards the rear. For the tools, I'm using a 10mm wrench, a socket wrench, an extension, a 10, 12, and 14mm sockets, a jack stands, a prying tool, or a flathead screwdriver. In my case, I use a flathead screwdriver. As for the materials, I'm using a sponge, a brush, degreaser, LA's Totally Awesome Cleaner, and 2 drain pans. You can use just 1 drain pan, but I'm using 2 to make things easier. And so, without further ado, let's get to it. First thing I'm going to do is drain the oil. Alright, that nasty used oil is out. I put the drain bolt back in and I went ahead and changed out the oil filter, as you can see. Now, to lift it up in the front with a jack and put it on jack stands. Alright, it's on jack stands, and I went ahead and put a couple bricks in the back on both sides. That way it doesn't roll backwards. Next thing to do is remove the skid plate. Both skid plates removed, and I'm currently laying under the truck, and you can see the oil buildup around the oil pan, on the engine, and a little bit on the transmission as well. The oil buildup isn't too bad, but it's starting to get to the bottom of the oil pan. Now, where the drain bolt is, we just drained the oil, so it's going to be shiny, reflective. But anyways, the next thing we need to do now is remove the oil pan. Okay, I got all the nuts and bolts out, and I got a new drain pan. We're going to go ahead and pull off the oil pan. Alright, oil pan is down. Here's the oil pan and some of the gasket material that became one with the oil pan. And then if you look up in the engine, gasket material is fused with the engine as well. We're gonna have to clean off that gasket material, or at least as much as we can, on both the engine and the oil pan. Okay, I got a good majority of the gasket material off. I'm gonna try and get some more of it off. And same thing with the oil pan. I cleaned the outside as well as the inside. And like I said, I'm gonna try and get some more of that gasket material off, but just know that it's a really tedious process. After cleaning everything, I'm gonna take my new oil pan gasket, put it on the oil pan, and then bolt it in. So there's a total of 2 nuts and 10 bolts. There's a nut right there and a nut right there. And while we're under here, it would be a good time to clean up so that there's no oil residue left over. It's not perfect, but it's better than what it was before, so I'll take it. With that oil pan up in there, as well as that area being clean, I'm cleaning my skid plates, but all I have to do now is put the skid plates back up, lower the vehicle, add new oil, and then we are done. Okay, we got oil within the engine. Now I'm going to start it up and let the oil circulate and see if we have any oil leaks. I checked under and there are no oil leaks, and I figured I'd check in the dashboard, and I have the door opening light, flashing seatbelt light, and the low TPMS light, which I need to get rid of. But there's no check engine light, which is all that matters. And just like that, we are done. That is how you change out the oil pan gasket. It's a really easy job. You just need a lot of tools, but it's really easy. Dealerships and your local mechanics will charge you a few $100s for this kind of job when really you could do it at home yourself. The gasket cost me only $11 and it should only take an hour at most. Obviously, it took me a lot longer because I made a video out of it. But just know that you could do it at home yourself, and most importantly, you know it'll be done right. But other than that, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you're subscribed, thanks. If you're not, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I'm gonna clean everything up, but take care everyone. I'll catch you on the flip side. Okay, I'm under the 4Runner. It's been months since I changed the oil pan gasket, and it's time for another oil change. But before I drain the oil, I figure I'd go under and take a look at the oil pan gasket now. Ignore that wet stain, that's from the AC. It also got onto the frame right there and is dripping onto the driveway. But a few months later, after changing this oil pan gasket, there are no oil leaks. Looking at the front, there are no oil leaks. It's completely dry, so we are definitely good to go. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that sometimes with these oil leaks, it may not be coming from the oil pan gasket. It could also be coming from the rear main seal. At first, I thought I would have had a rear main seal leak, and if I did, it would have been a really expensive repair. But thank goodness, it was not the rear main seal and it was just the oil pan gasket. But other than that, that's it. I'm gonna end the video now and get this oil change done. Take care, everyone.